I stayed pretty busy. I went to a different high school here in Southern California and actually spoke 5 times in their senior theology and apologetics classes. And they actually brought me in and introduced me as an atheist college professor, and I debated the students for about 45 minutes before revealing that I was a Christian and discussing some of those things. Now, the main reason I and others do this is actually to win, show the students that they don't know as much as they think they know, and this is a huge encouragement for them to do better. I'll talk more about it on the podcast this week if you follow there. I'll put the link below. But one of the things these Christian students kept bringing up in all the classes I was in is this idea of design. And they kept saying, our bodies are perfectly designed, and that points to a designer. And what I would say is, well, I'm wearing contacts, I'm wearing glasses. Why would you say that my eye is perfectly designed if I'm wearing glasses? That makes no sense. What do you have to say about that? And they didn't have very much to talk about. And then I would begin to point out what is oftenly pointed to as bad design. The esophagus is where the food, water, and air goes down and allows us to choke. And the human eyeball has a blind spot. And I pointed out all these aspects of bad design, and the students were a little bit stuck. And I want to show some examples to help make sense of this objection. I actually don't think that we should expect perfect design. All design things have some give and take. For example, the phone that I'm using to record this video is designed well to do this, but it's not a professional video camera that you would use in Hollywood to make a movie. But if I was using one of those cameras, it wouldn't be small enough to put in my pocket and carry around in my classroom and these different things. Right? The laptop I use is wonderful for bringing into my classroom, but it doesn't have the computing power or the storage to run the government. If I want a computer that big, it's not going to be carried into my classroom. Right? The coffee mug I use, someone could say, well, this isn't perfectly designed. It can break. But if you're going to make a coffee mug out of unbreakable material, it's going to be so expensive, no one's going to buy it. So there's some give and take. But there's a couple points here to realize in those examples. Number one, bad design does not mean no design. My computer can get a virus and break. There might be bad things that I don't like about it, but it doesn't mean that it hasn't been designed. The second thing is this. We have to ask, what is the purpose for this thing? The purpose of my coffee mug is to hold hot liquid. The purpose is not for it to last hundreds or thousands of years. So when we look at the design of the human body, just because there are some defects doesn't mean that there's no design. We also have to realize that the fall has had effects on the human body. But also we have to look at what is the purpose for which God created us. Did he create us to live eternally in this physical body here and now? No. He created us for the purpose of knowing him and making him known. And is my body capable of doing that? Yes, it does it very well. So we have to be careful not to be tripped up by this argument that because God designs, we're going to have this perfect design. There's give and take to everything. God has created us in a way that we can live well, that we can do what he has called us to do. We are not meant to be eternal. But just because there are flaws that are maybe the product of the fall doesn't mean that there's no design.